Good afternoon. It's high time to talk in the languages of music. My name is Konrad Żurowski, and I am wondering if you are ready for a cultural journey. I warmly invite you to listen to Languages of Music on YouTube, Spotify, and other streaming services, as well as to follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram. It is there and while listening on YouTube that you will find a table of 10 keywords for the episode in 4 languages. Although since our interview she has released singles such as Time, Sometimes and You're Missing Me, as well as the album Wesoła, dziewczyna, sercem, często, smutnym, I'm taking you on a musical time machine. Listen to her timeless words. Soon we will have another interview together. I had the indescribable honor of hosting Natalia Ptak aka Ptakova, Polish singer, composer, songwriter and producer. She has been nominated for the 2021 Fryderyk Awards in the Phonographic Debut of the Year category. Performs alternative music, electronic music, alternative rock, pop and hip-hop. Co-founder of the band SOXSO, which she co-founded with Maciej Sawoch. This group has released 4 singles, one of them for the film Madness. A correction at the beginning of the interview, the band SOXSO ended in 2017 and the announced album Unrest did not materialize. Her collaboration with Maciej as part of the duo SOXSO was her entry into the world of electronica. Previously, as Natasha Ptakova, she was lavishing more in acoustic sounds with instruments such as live double bass, drums, and acoustic guitars. This project was also co-created with Maciej, which naturally allowed the transition into a separate different project, namely SOXSO. Thanks to him, they played at Open Air or the Fuchsbau Festival in Germany. A collaboration with Miłosz then appeared on the horizon. They found themselves on his album and play a lot of concerts with him. As Ptakova, she performed at the Silesian Theatre or the Culture Zone in Katowice, among others. These were many events that influenced her further activities, and her cooperation with Maciej remains deep in her heart. In her opinion, it is possible to run 2 different projects with the same person. In fact, in the case of the quite normal collaboration with Maciej, there were not 2 different projects with the same person. The Ptakova project just created itself. If someone knows what they want to convey and throughout in a given project, it is doable. Creating on different levels and with different people broadens the horizons a lot. In every project you can add something new. The essence is what you want to be the main component of each project. In one project it will be rock music and in another it will be sung poetry, even though they are 2 completely different genres. It is all a matter of willingness. In her opinion, there is no universal recipe for musical panna cotta, for composing and creating a song. Probably many schemes would be duplicated, but still everyone has their own looking for ideas and inspiration elsewhere. Some start with a text. To this text they add a blade of melody, and the melody line forms the outline of the song. To this, for example, they add a guitar and wander off with this to the producer. Others prefer to start with the melody, with the lyrics coming in at the gray end after the production layer. Certain of the song's base, they add lyrics to it. Sometimes some write lyrics unrelated to the music, having notebooks full of ideas and loose thoughts. In this case, the melody comes later. Natalia differentiates between these methods. Working with the late Budyń Jacek Szymkiewicz, taught her to jot down different phrases and that the melodic line does not have to be strictly connected to the text. She became too attached to particular parts. She learned to sing certain things differently or modify the melody. Sometimes, when creating a text, a melody forms in her head. She draws on different recipes because it broadens her horizons. Creation is a form of self-therapy, because in creation there is a certain concealment of one's own experiences or various experiences, especially in texts, although she does not describe specifics in them. When communicating one's emotions to the world, stage fright and stress occur, especially when publishing the works, even if the memories described are hidden through metaphors. When an author writes lyrics for another singer, then this is accompanied by consultation to make the vision coherent. When working with Kasia Lins and Kuba Karaś on the song Without Us, Ptakova handed over the work on the lyrics to Kasia. It was a challenge for Natalia to step into this text as a vocalist because up until then she had only performed her own lyrics. She distinguishes between mobilizing stage fright and fright related to panic attacks or our imaginations. She counters that everyone experiences the songs emotionally differently and calls it an exchange of energy. She appreciates the opportunity to face the listener's reception of her music. Working on an album is usually a whole story, for example, a conglomeration of many experiences over the years. An album takes place on a new dimension when it is listened to by different people. Friends tell Natalia that her lyrics remind them of different stories from their lives. The evolution from SOXSO to Natasha Ptakova to Ptakova has allowed for a great deal of conceptual divergence. Spring Rain by Marek Dziedzic is a derivative of a song And If. Working with Marek Dziedzic and Jacek Szymkiewicz taught her a lot of humility and unlearned her from being too independent. She needed the arm of an experienced producer. She wrote to Marek on Facebook. First the castanets were created. Then they decided to create a whole album. The producer brought out Natalia's naturalness to the music. It's all about the multiple approaches to singing a song. No use of autotune, no gluing parts of a song together. In the song Labyrinths, a dog can be heard barking. Natalia recognizes that unclean vocals have their charm at certain points. Not every genre can afford it, such as radio pop. Having always been a fan of Pogodno, working with Budyń Jacek Szymkiewicz was a dream come true for her. Working on the lyrics resembled workshops and analysis with specific word combinations. She believes that food is important. A full tummy means a head full of ideas. Referring to the album title Sum of All Sounds, Suma Wszystkich Dźwięków, Natalia feels she is the sum and difference of all sounds. She sees the differences as negative experiences that she turns into pluses. Without them, there would be no title sum. The possible reduction of individual words or whole songs is also a metaphor for difference. She emphasizes that the main line of a piece cannot be lost through an excess of chaos or instruments. Creating excess material and then slimming it down is one creative method. According to Ptakova, the emotional state is indicative of the listener's musical needs at any given time. It is worth surrounding ourselves with music and reflecting on how connected we are to sound. Self-awareness built in this way prolongs life. Art and creativity, on the other hand, prolongs the life of authors, even after their death. The value of their work is not lost and remains inspiring. Unfortunately, our rather short lives do not allow us to draw inspiration from everything. The value of a work changes. The time of a work changes. Ptakova used to have a favorite set of artists. Nowadays, listening to various playlists, she doesn't know the names of specific artists and songs. In a playful, quasi-coaching tone, she appeals to trust herself. Then add to this the pertinent arguments of trusted people. Without intuition, it is hard in both life and the music industry. She feels that she can say of her material on the album, "It is mine." Working with big labels is not easy. She is learning to stand up for herself. There is never any certainty that a track will be a hit. It is important to take responsibility for the final shape of the song, already after suggestions from others and changes. Natalia likes to have an influence on the visual layer of the album and other aspects, although she knows that some people like to leave it to the record company. She is happy to open the drawer marked music video director. In the video for the song Corazon, she handed over her original concept to the video's creative team. The song's castanets refer to the instrument castanets for their use in the musical layer. Visually, in the music video, it is a return to roots and tribes. It is in this song that she sees the potential for a timeless piece. According to Ptakova, the question of authority and the ability to confirm information is disappearing. This creates bubbles. It is worth listening, reading, and learning about diverse things. The COVID era was undoubtedly a difficult one for artists, especially from a concert angle. Deadlines can both mobilize and disrupt an artist's concept of calm. The first layer of creation is usually the most enjoyable. It is worth sticking to a certain plan and creating songs so that there is something to choose from. The inspiration for the album cover Sum of All Sounds, suma wszystkich dźwięków, came from nature, both visually and graphically. Natalia referred to photographer Victor Franco and graphic designer Karolina Wojciechowska for this. Intuition often leads Natalia towards people who perfectly realize her visions. Stones and mosses from the Warsaw florist Greenbells Forest in a Jar played a big role on the cover. It was not just a piano, but a whole orchestra of different microorganisms playing the most diverse and strange melodies. Ptakova develops vocabulary by reading, listening, watching, and talking. She points out that the fashion for a word happens. The Polish language can only end if we don't take care of it. Natalia has completed a course in factual editing. She likes it when someone draws her attention to mistakes. She corrects those close to her herself. She believes that in recent years many Polish authors have returned to creating only in Polish. In terms of distribution, she finds it much easier to appear on the radio with a song in Polish. English was a new language for her at SOXSO. She finds this language very malleable. When it comes to creating a melody line, it is common to use what is called Anglo-Chinese or broken English. The Polish language is malleable from a different angle. Perhaps many Polish artists have only just plucked up the courage to create in their mother tongue. The simplicity of the refrain often appeals to the listener and makes the song a hit. Natalia has taken part in theater workshops and it is sometimes an actress. she treats each character as a project. Ptakova wishes all listeners health, self-development, exploration, and discovery of many things around and in themselves. Languages of Music is the world's first interdisciplinary podcast combining linguistic and educational values as well as the universal message of languages of music. Music ran solo. Many thanks to Maciej for producing the episode. You are cordially invited to listen to the remaining language parts in separate episodes.